ADA, we start with 1 hour chart. We want to see how we can look for trade. First of all, if we refer to our analysis, we mentioned how we can look for buy since the price was within this move. Anyway, there was no, I mean, we didn't get the trade as what we expected. That means we don't need this line anymore. And now I want to see how we can look at the chart, and still we can put this one as a correction relative to this. Anyway, we start with higher time frame. We want to see how we can look at the chart from the based on daily chart. Anyway, if we refer to our analysis, we mentioned there about the possibility made this one turn to a flat. And even as we can see, the price couldn't break the previous top because we mentioned we want to see the breakout of the previous top. What I mean by the previous top, that's mean the breakout of somewhere around 1.51, because the way it's reversing is quite corrective from what we can see based on daily chart. That's why I mentioned made this one turn to flat. That's why we need to be quite careful if we want to look for buy. As long as the price haven't broke the 1.51, still we can expect the price to drop. And even if we move to forward chart, from what we can see here, the way it's moving is very corrective. And since we have this sharp move, if we want to look for flat, we can expect to get one more drop. If this one turn to a flat, any reversal from there is good for us to look for trade if we want to look for buy. Again, it doesn't mean the price cannot continue from here. If the continuation as a corrective similar to what we get here, the only way is to look for trade based on 1 hour chart or lower time frame. But if we want to look at this one as a correction, what we want to get one more drop similar to what we have here. And even we can expect the price to retest the previous top before we get the next down move, before we get the reversal. Okay, but if this one retest 1.35, the next down move can be, because we are expecting to get similar to what we have here. That means we at that time, so we don't need to expect the price to retest the lowest price of this correction. What I mean by the lowest price, I mean 1.21. That means we want to get one more drop. As long as we this one turn to a flat, we need to see what type of the flat we get. Then any reversal from there for buy, we will take the trade. Buying within this correction is quite careful. We need to be quite careful. That's why we need to trade based on lower time frame, because if we move to 1 hour chart, the way we can look at this one as a correction in relative to this, we can look at this one as a three waves internal flat in relative to this, and this one turned to a bigger flat in relative to this at the first correction and the last. That's why either from here the price give us one more drop in relative to this, then any reversal from there, we will take the trade, or even this one turn to flat. That means the last wave in relative to this can turn to more complex, including the internal flat. Even if we get one move up, we need to get one more drop before we get the next move. Okay, now how we can look at the trade? As I mentioned, we technically, we want to see one more drop similar to what we get here, because at that times we can confirm about this correction. Any down move, then from there any reversal. This is what technically, if he wants to follow the Elliott wave, it can give us a better confirmation for continuation. And as I explained, this one also can turn to flat in relative to this. Then how we can look for trade? The first thing is, if we get one more drop, it can give us better confirmation. Now, how we can, whether we get the one more drop or not, how we can look for trade, the only way is to put our entry above this, which is somewhere around 1.331. 1.331. This is the only way we can look for trade. And what we want to see the as a sharp move, at least similar to what we get here. Okay, now it depends on the trader. So whether they want to put the trade at 1.331 at right now, or they want to get one more drop with the breakout of the previous low. Then if the price retests the previous low, which is this one, then we can shift our entry. It's not, there is no much changes. We can put shift over entry here around 1.326. Okay, but at this time, still we can put our entry at 1.331. All right, and buying within this, without the trade setup, I don't suggest it. It depends on the traders. That's why the best thing is to put our entry above here, because we want to get one move up in relative to this. And we can put our stop loss either at 1.24 or at 1.2. It depends on the traders how much they want to risk. And we should know, if we want to put our entry above here, what we're looking for sharp move. If the price tag within the first or second hours, we see there is no continuation, we take out the trade or move or stop loss to break even, because we should know that We're looking at this one as a first correction and one move up. And we are putting this one in relative to this, including this correction. Okay, now whether we should take this trade or not, it depends on the traders because we consider it as a short term. Then the reason we want to take this trade in case the price continue from here and even break the previous stop. But we should know that even if we get one move up, if the price is not going to continue, we are expecting to get one more drop. This is the bigger flat we're looking for. Okay, now the traders, whether they want to get one more drop in relative to this, they want to wait for this flat, the bigger picture to be complete before we take the trade, or they want to take the trade from here as a short term. But we should know that it depends on them which one they want to take the trade. I mean, which option? I mean, whether they want to get bigger flat before they take the trade, or they want to take this trade in case the price continue from here. All right, but we should know that if we're looking for buy from here, we want to see the sharp move as a short-term trade, and we can expect the price to give us one more drop before continuation. That's why any trade from here, we want to get the sharp move first, and if it's not moving, we are not going to keep the trade more than 2 hours. And even if the price tag over entry and it moved to the profit, we are moving over stop loss in break even and just let it go. If there is a continuation, we keep the trade. If not, at least if the price reverse, at least it take out our trade in the break even because of the bigger picture. Okay. Anyway, this is the only way we can look for trade. And in this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. And even if you want to look for profit, we want to see how high this one can go. Simply, we can put our fib here. And as long as the price tag 27%, which is 1.353, this is the first take profit. And the second one is 61.8%, which is 1.383. That's mean if you want to get any trade from here, from this correction, by having entry above the top, this is the first target and the second target we're looking for. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thank